if there's anything I recommend you do with this movie, bring some tissues. You're gonna need them. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Garrett. Today I'm going to give you a spoiler-free review of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever is the sequel to the massively popular 2018 film, Black Panther, of course. I saw that movie down in Fort Lauderdale. I liked it the first time. I think each viewing, though, more and more technical aspects of the film bother me. I think it has really great characters. I think the story is great. Killmonger is a fantastic villain, character-wise, but he's also the same skill set as T'Challa, so like the third act finale doesn't work for me. There's a lot of dark moments that are just too dark on screen, and there's really weird editing with the way scenes end. So I was not super excited for this movie. Of course, it's the ending to Phase 4. I'm still excited because it's the MCU and I do really enjoy the characters of the Black Panther films. But the iffy production was making me worry that the movie wouldn't turn out good. And I happen to actually like this a lot more than the first one. I think a lot of my issues with the first one were fixed in this movie, not completely. There's still some of that wonky editing. I think that's just a Ryan Coogler thing at this point. It's not something I notice a lot with Marvel movies in general. But wow, was this movie extremely emotional. I cried 3 times, which is not something normal with these Marvel movies. They usually tend to focus on their action, and this one was more involved with the characters. And I think that's why I like this movie a lot more. It was still that drama, Game of Thrones, but superhero style thing. Instead of trying to take over the throne of Wakanda, it's a whole different community of people that we're up against, and I really thought that was engaging. Obviously, this is not the intended movie that was to be made. With the untimely passing of Chadwick Boseman, they had to scrap that completely. Rest in peace, Mr. Boseman. You are greatly missed. And so this movie felt like it was reactionary towards that. It's so emotional towards this actor's passing and the character's passing as well. It's no surprise that the character is just dead now in this franchise. And I think the movie handled it really well in a way that was cathartic for both the characters and the audience and the franchise as a whole to just honor this person. I think everyone does an amazing job in this film. Wright, Angela Bassett, Lupita Nyong'o, which I love Lupita Nyong'o. I wish she got to do more in this movie though. What Angela Bassett and Wright do in this movie, the range both those characters have, it's some of the best acting that the MCU has had. It's really phenomenal what those 2 women pull out in this movie. And can we give Danai Gurira a fucking leading role in a movie at some point? She is so fantastic as a Coel. I just love that character so much. I think she's my favorite from this franchise. Just her vibe and personality just hit with me so much. And she does get pushed to the back in the latter half of this movie, although her and Shuri do get a really fun sequence to this film. Surprisingly, the film is still fun. So much of it is heart-wrenchingly distraught and emotional and sad, but the first act allows its characters to have fun, make jokes. And then as the movie progresses, it gets more serious in tone. And honestly, it's a refreshing change from what the MCU has been doing with its constant barrage of comedy movies. Looking at You, Love and Thunder, I didn't really enjoy that one that much. It was just too comedy focused, and I think it just lost the characters. But talking about Wakanda Forever, and I'm gonna say this as a Phase 4 in general, this ended Phase 4 perfectly. We are going to get a little epilogue with the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, and I think Wakanda Forever wrapped up the themes of Phase 4 in a pretty little bow that was just perfect. We're talking about the grieving of these characters from what happened at the end of Phase 3 and how each of these major characters have moved along or are dealing with grief in their own way. And then introducing new family to us, new characters that we can grow to love, and not necessarily replace in our grieving, but open ourselves to love more people. And the way this movie handles grief, I really loved. It was very heartfelt. It's the most emotional movie the MCU has. There are some characters I will not name that appear in this movie. They are very side characters. They are not on the poster. And I don't necessarily think they needed to be in this movie more than a simple cameo scene. You could really take out every scene they're in and it would just shorten the runtime, which 2 hours and 41 minutes is very long, but it didn't feel like it. I think the movie is really well paced for how limited the action scenes are. There's not that many. I think there's 4 or 5. One really suspenseful scene in the first act of this movie to introduce Namor and his people, and that was really terrifying. I think they did that really well. That was fun to see. Is it a bit cliche? Yes, but this movie isn't a horror movie, and it allowed one scene to have some horror vibes going on. I like that a lot. I think the movie does a great job in building the world of not only Wakanda a little bit more. I was glad that we got to see a funeral procession, and all of the costumes for the characters with that funeral were just beautiful, really well made stuff. And then you go to where Namor is, and his entire culture and world and city is so vastly different, but kind of the same to Wakanda. And I really respected the difference that they made 2 entirely different worlds, languages for them, costumes and aesthetics and cultures for them. It was really awesome to see how much they pulled off in this movie. It was an insane amount of world building that they had to do, and I think they did it great. And the movie is beautiful. Ryan Coogler did something amazing with this film. It looks fucking outstanding. I have a lot of issues with the CG in the first Black Panther, and I think those issues were fixed. I think Marvel has had an over-reliance on digital use, and I think they did a lot more practical sets. There's a lot more practicality in this movie that I enjoyed. Like, you can tell there's a lot of real water. There's fake water, obviously, in certain scenes, but like the water is real, the characters are real. Like, you can tell when a street will end in a green screen, but it feels like they're in a real place, and that's what I liked so much. Cinematography was great. I loved how everything looked. I'm so happy about that. The music, again, Ludwig Göransson, outstanding stuff, man. Gosh, you're so good. And then Rihanna's new song is great. It is perfect to go with this ending. The ending made me cry. I love this ending so much. The third act is not the best, though I think it loses itself with how long the movie is, and then it's just not that impactful. Like, it's not as big as you would expect. Like, it kind of just does what Black Panther, the first one, did again. I don't love that. I really think it's just repeating the same mistake that it did before, although all the action scenes are in the daylight this time, which thank goodness. I do not really enjoy the first action scene of Black Panther because so much of it is in the dark. And then in the third act finale of the first Black Panther, when T'Challa and Killmonger go down to the train stuff, that's all in the dark, and I think it just hinders how well the movie looks. They're just trying to hide things. Is it the best thing of Phase 4? I don't think so. I think it's a really perfect ending to just wrap everything together. It's definitely not the most comic book movie, which is Spider-Man No Way Home, and it definitely doesn't drive the multiverse story anywhere, which is the overarching story of Phase 4 through 6. Overall, I really liked Black Panther Wakanda Forever. It is a perfect bookend to Phase 4. I love what it does with the characters for the most part. I definitely recommend this movie. Please go see Black Panther Wakanda Forever. This is worth a theater ticket price. It is worth your time. It is worth going out and not waiting for streaming. Go see this movie. Let yourself feel these emotions, and then we can all just have a laugh when the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special comes out. That's my most anticipated thing for Phase 4, is that holiday special. It's been from the beginning. I love anything Guardians, so I'm very excited to see that come out on Black Friday. But overall, let me know your thoughts of Wakanda Forever, the second Black Panther movie. If you've seen it, let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't seen it, what are you hoping for this movie to give you? If you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye! I really like this jacket, don't y'all? Like, it's just so much fun, and I think I look really good in it. Of course, it's red, and I think I look really good in red. This is my first video since Halloween. Did you know I made a Halloween special this year? Again, I did it. I covered 10 Cloverfield Lane. Please go check it out if you haven't seen it. I would really love that to get some more attention because I put a lot of work into it, and I feel really good about it, and I think you'll enjoy it. So yeah, that's what I got.